educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
Alrighty, we're coming at you live from Neo Tokyo. This is Come Along Radio, the only show on the internet that covers the rich history and the sweet sounds of Japanese city pop. I'm your host, Rocket Brown, and I'm ready to get down. I've got some very special friends with me today.
Hey, you've got Jay Canuck from Toronto, Canada, through the music blog Kaio Kyoku Plus. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. It's the Afrocentric Jukebox. Glad to be here again. Nice to meet you guys.
And we've got a special guest with us, the future up-and-coming YouTube sensation, Jen, from the YouTube channel Dumacam, home to some fabulous covers of classic city pop songs. How you doing, Jen?
I'm great. Excited to be here today.
Absolutely. So, for those who don't know, he does really great covers of Tatsuro songs. My favorite cover he did was actually the Let's Kiss the Sun from 1979's Moonglow. Classic disco album. Of course, he also just recently did a cover of Your Eyes from 1982's For You. So check that out. You did a really, really great job.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But speaking of Tatsuro Yamashita, we've got a very good surprise for you. I happened to stumble across a English translated interview with Tatsuro Yamashita from back in 2012. So just for context, this was during the time where he was recording Ray of Hope, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Canuck. I believe that was around 2012.
Yep, that's about right.
Yeah. So he was interviewed by a Japanese magazine. The interviewer was Mori Tomoyuki. And shout outs to the translator, English translation from Henka for translating the entire interview, or at least the most important questions from the interview.
Oh, and just to let people know, the interview, the translated interview, is at a website called kumomi.org, kumomi.org. And so you can get, if you're interested after the broadcast, you can take a look at the full interview there.
Absolutely. It's worth a read. You get to delve into the mind. We've taken a few highlights to dissect and discuss and see if we can learn something new about the king of city pop. So let's get into it. Question number 5.
Question number 5. The interviewer asked Tatsuro, what sort of fashion would you like to try if you were a woman?
Cosplay.
Questions.
If it's to satisfy some kind of a desire for change, I might as well go for something far out. I might as well go for some far out fashion like that.
Mm-hmm. That's your Barbara Walters question for the interview.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the big question is who would Tatsuro Yamashita cosplay as? That's the real question.
I mean,
does he go to anime expos? Is the question, right?
I don't
Yeah.
know if he goes anywhere. I really don't know if he goes anywhere.
By his admission, he said he's a homebody. He doesn't really like to go out all that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so where would he go?
What's his favorite TV shows?
He could cosplay. I think I made the joke last time, but he could cosplay as the one dude from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. Hazamada.
Kira?
No, not Kira. Oh my god. No.
Not Kira, not David Bowie.
No, not David Bowie. No, the creepy guy with the puppet stand. He was like a wooden doll. I think his name was Hazamada.
Yes.
Yeah, Toshikazu
Oh,
Hazamada.
yeah. Now that you mention it.
He has the exact same hairstyle.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, it's very uncanny. I'm sorry, Tex, it made you creep. But I can't think of literally anything else. Oh man. Question number 6.
Okay, question number 6 is Tatsuro, any up and coming musicians you're keeping an eye on?
There's this great trumpet girl by the name of Ichihara Hikari who played the flugelhorn on my latest album. She's got a totally different notion of jazz than all those old geezers. Her phrasing is so delicate, and she's a great composer and arranger. Her new album, Unity, is fantastic too. I do listen to rock too, but I feel like I haven't been hearing anything new. Young bands that are just outstanding as of late. I like bands along the lines of Anarchy, Blue Hearts, Eastern Youth, Michelle Gun Elephant, The Birthday, Mosun Tone Bender. But I don't yet know of any young bands that are up to their level. That could just as well be due to lack of research on my part, though. So, right off the bat,
Eastern Youth.
yeah, Eastern Youth, Anarchy. Damn, Tats.
Blue Hearts, I know.
Blue Hearts, I know. They're a classic band. They're from the 80s.
Yeah, they're very much a classic band. Yeah.
They are actually really good. I would recommend checking out Blue Hearts. Anarchy?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed. Michelle Gun Elephant.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
I think that was his cosplay, Michelle Gunn.
Yeah, he's a good Michelle. There you go.
oh my God, is that a Michelle Gun elephant?
I know, right? What do you like? How do you respond to that? I think some of these are visual K. I could be wrong. Actually, no, I don't think Tess is a visual K guy. But some of these,
I think Michelle. I mean, Blue Hearts is rock, of course.
Yeah.
I think Michelle Gun Elephant is also the same as well.
Okay.
It's a rock band. Yeah.
I did listen to Mosun Tone Bender, and they sound something along the lines that I think Tats would enjoy. I know in the past I've read that he's a big fan of like garage rock, so that makes sense. So yeah, he's got a very eclectic taste in music there. But I do resonate with the the whole rock and roll just ain't the same.
I just want to say we've been saying it wrong. It's the Michelle Gunn Elephant.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the Michelle Gun Elephant.
That's right.
My apologies.
Also, I just DM'd you a picture of the album cover.
I am so afraid to look at the album cover. Oh my God! That is exactly what I thought it was gonna look like, except worse.
Oh,
it's awesome.
It's just a motorcycle that's on fire.
And shooting a gun.
Yeah, there's a gun.
Maybe that should have been the cover for the Anarchy album.
I know, right? Oh my goodness. So, question number 7.
Hey, Tatsuro, what is your favorite word or phrase?
It changes with time. In the past, it used to be naseba naru. Where there's a will, there's a way. I guess I'll go with that. I agree. It's a good answer. That seems like...
What does that quote originate from?
Where there's a will, there's a way. It was from a work written by George Herbert.
Cool. I've never heard of that person.
Well, now you got a new book to read. Thanks, Tats.
Read more.
I know, right? Question number 8.
And Tatsuro, what's your least favorite word or phrase?
Artist. I hate being called that. And I hate saying the word too. The way the word artist, air quotes, is used in Japanese media today, they're not using it in the true sense of the word.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an interesting thing to say because, in 1991 he came up with that, came up with the album Artisan, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he said in the Japanese Wikipedia write-up for the article for the album, he was saying that artisan is not the same as artist. If anything, it's like almost the opposite of artist. An artisan is, artisan is someone who works with his hands. Basically, tries to create something. And the I guess in the context being is that an artisan is making something for a living. It's a livelihood.
Right.
And I think he prefers that term to artist.
That makes a lot more sense, especially considering that one of his nicknames is the Craftsman of Sound.
The Craftsman of Sound.
Oh yeah. Which, I wholeheartedly agree.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he means it, the artist thing, like in relation to like the idol and more just singers,
right,
or something, rather than songwriters and.
True, because not all singers are songwriters,
Exactly.
And not to give any shade to like Ray Charles, one of my favorite singers. Georgia on My Mind was not written by Ray Charles. It was written by Hoagie Carmichael, I think, a whole 20 years earlier. And there's a bunch of songs like that, many Earth, Wind and Fire songs, many Manhattan Transfer songs.
They were David Foster.
Exactly, they were David Foster. Not to say that they're not artists, that they don't write their own songs, but David Foster, in a sense, is also is an artist or an artisan in that sense, because he composes songs for a living, not just for himself, but for other people.
Right. Nowadays, Justin Timberlake and Bruno Mars writes a lot of our pop songs that are hits,
Really?
Oh, yeah. Especially Bruno Mars.
I would have thought of like Mark Ronson, if you're familiar with Mark Ronson. I know he.
Uptown.
Uptown Funk. It was a Bruno Mars hit, but it's a Mark Ronson song.
Well, it's funny because I think I was talking about this in high school with someone, where Bruno Mars writes music for others, and then for himself, he also gets a songwriter. It's very funny.
Oh yeah.
Well, it goes to show the dynamic of music making. It's very curious. If you're the singer, I suppose the weight of writing a song, you'd like to be on someone else's shoulder, so you can focus on the specific work you want to do.
That makes sense.
How to turn each phrase or something for emotional effect.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I initially thought question number 9 was a follow-up, but I was wrong. It was the answer took an entirely different turn. Question number 9.
Okay, so I'll just rephrase this to make it a little bit more clearer. Tatsuro, what are the words that you used to propose to Maria?
Well, I'm so shy, so I never said any words like that. We both just kind of went, should we get married? So you won't see me actually say anything you might hear in my song lyrics.
Tatsuro Tatsuro didn't sing My Eyes to Maria?
I know, right? Shame on you.
It's like, Maria will probably be furious if you just turned our proposal into a song.
I know, right?
But My Eyes is a great My Eyes is a great song though.
True.
It's a lovely song.
It's a bit ironic though.
It's a bit, perhaps. But I can imagine, just have them having a conversation in his car. It's like, do you want to get married? Oh, okay, I don't know. Do you have time next year? Okay, sure. Let's get married.
Time next year?
Yeah, I'm kind of clear. I was planning to take a break anyway. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like it was meant to be.
Do they have any kids? I'm curious.
They have one daughter, as far as I know.
Who's, I think, in her mid-30s at this point now. Yeah, but has nothing to do with the music industry.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
It's nice that, obviously, we're big fans. We want to see him doing great, but, I'm glad that his life is private. It's very opposite in the West,
I can relate a little bit. Any lyrics that I write, I don't really exactly relate personally to them. I know that it's different between lots of people. Some people write straight from their heart and stuff, but yeah, in the way Tatsuro talks about his lyric writing, especially before like Boku no Nakana Shonen and then it was definitely not a reflection of his own thought up until that point.
Sure thing. And I mean, that's kind of the beauty of art, is that it's not about one thing I've learned from my experience as script writing is that you don't want your dialogue to sound like real people, because that would be boring.
Right.
You want it to sound like what people think they sound like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
I
does.
think the same thing goes for music. You don't want to write a song and have the lyrics sound like how someone actually would say "I love you," because they would be shy, they stumble over the words. You want to write it in a way that sounds like what they want to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So so I can understand that.
So something symbolic.
Yes, but there's still a sense of verisimilitude in the lyrics, because it's coming from that person, if that makes any sense.
Well, I suppose that's why you consume art in the first place, is to abstract reality.
True. Absolutely. Now, question number 10.
Question number 10. Tatsuro, what is your favorite Maria Takeuchi song?
Oh, that's tough. But if I was to pick just one, maybe Junai Rhapsody. My arrangement for that one turned out well.
Yeah, which brings up the question, what is everyone's favorite Maria Takeuchi song?
I have never heard Junai Rhapsody. I'm not going to lie. That's the one song I have not heard yet.
I don't really listen to Maria Takeuchi except Plastic Love 20, 30, 40 times. So I'm just going to say
So like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine's a little bit insecure. Hyagayaku Sutare Naito from her first album.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
It's so soothing. I mean, the whole album is very soothing. I mean, I've yet to hear a song that I don't even like, that I dislike. That I've yet to find a song that I don't think is at worst, okay. Like, she has a really great discography, but I love, I think I kind of have a soft spot for the sort of doo-wop stuff from her first album. Also, I can't remember the exact name of it. Rain, rain, rain.
Oh.
Also from that first album.
Yeah, I recognize the song just from the chorus you just sang there. Yeah.
Dance, never stop.
Yeah. The beginning is a lot of very Olivia Newton-John / Karen Carpenter type of music.
Yeah, only she eschews the whole like pseudo wholesome thing for something that I feel is a little bit more, I would say, authentic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way the music was done in the United States, because it was obviously a reaction to sort of I'm not going to say it was anarchy, but a lot of the boundary pushing that was going on in American music.
Right.
But I think Maria Takeuchi, it feels, this is going to sound odd, but every time I listen to the album, it evokes like the beginning sequence of Kiki's Delivery Service when she's in her hometown. It evokes that kind of, more down to earth. It feels very down to earth. Not necessarily, but down to earth.
Yeah, I
very
can
much
see that.
so.
Yeah, I do love that movie, by the way.
Yes. Also, thank you for.
Yeah, about to say we have a guest, by the way.
Okay. I don't know why you're laughing, but I'm okay with it.
No,
Yeah.
You didn't introduce yourself, but shout out.
Oh, I didn't introduce myself.
You just came out from the audience. It was like, oh, my
That's
favorite
fine.
movie is. So welcome.
I thought you were asking all of us in the audience to.
Hey,
That's great. You're fine. You're great.
Okay. Well, anyway, go on with the interview. This is really cool.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, but how about yourself, Rocket? What's your favorite?
It's between Broken Heart and Natalie.
Okay. Yeah, Natalie is also a pretty nice country pop song type of thing.
I also personally relate to it because
Mm-hmm.
as someone who's worked in Hollywood and knowing people who went to school in Hollywood and knowing other people who worked and went to school in Hollywood, coming from out of town, be like, I'm gonna be the next 50 cents, and they ain't worth a dime.
I gotta do them like that, bro.
What? It's just true, man. People is like, I'm gonna be the next Tupac, Jay-Z, whatever, and it's like, all right, cool. And it's just, it's part of life. It's part of the Hollywood nature. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of crushes your dreams a little bit. But Natalie is definitely a lot more hopeful in that sense, where it's like, maybe, maybe Natalie will learn that there's no place like home. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But yeah, that's my favorite Maria song. Now you got me sentimental. Question number. We're gonna skip to question number 12.
Hey, Tatsuro, you have great English pronunciation. What did you do to learn to speak it?
Nothing. I just listen to records and memorize stuff. I can sing it, but I can't actually speak it.
I wonder how much of that is true.
Tatsuroyamashita karaoke expert.
I wonder if I can learn German like that.
Good luck.
I know, right?
I once heard a German rap. It was the most confusing and intimidating.
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
Back in high school, I was like, "What am I?" What? But yeah, it's pretty intense. But yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, I feel like it's kind of ironic a little bit because I feel like we do the same thing with his music, where we just kind of sing, not knowing what exactly he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't sing it. I just like the music. I just like it.
To sing this long, and it's like we're just we say the English part right on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. When in doubt, just go to la la la.
Exactly.
Seriously, no one judges you.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the radio station you showed me, where the guy's just like north to south, east to west. And that's the idea. It's like, does he really know? Does he really know how to speak English?
Kobayashi?
Yes, yeah. It's
like great thing going on here with Tatsuroyamashita. Up and down, all to north, east to west, north to south, and that's the idea. Oh, so that's the idea.
Oh.
It's like, what are you doing? What?
It's all so clear to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was spitting facts.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Kobayashi for president. But anyways,
he's still doing the radio station in Hawaii, isn't he?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, that guy. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he's DJ Kobayashi. They've done stuff together, but what is his name? Katsuya Kobayashi, right? Canuck?
Yeah, Katsuya Kobayashi. That's correct.
Yeah, he's in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
He has his own. He's had his own TV show where he interviews artists, and
okay.
he has his own band. His quote unquote self-proclaimed #1 band.
Yes, I mean, yes,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Yeah, so he's doing his own thing.
Crazy bit of trivia. Actually, Mr. Kobayashi and I were at the same party years ago.
That's
Really?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
meet
he
him?
was. Yeah, well, I didn't get to meet him. I just noticed he was at one of my students was holding the Christmas party, and she knew him, so he came out. He had he really liked the buffet.
Mm.
Yeah, he was kind of hitting the buffet most of the time. So
Hey man,
yeah.
I don't blame him.
Sounds like a working man.
Yeah, he's the busiest man in Japanese showbiz.
Yeah.
Well, he's the number one. He's the number one man.
The number one band.
Yeah, there you go.
So, question
Mhm.
13.
Hey, Tatsuro, what is your motto?
This changes with time. But right now, it's this poem by Sugawara no Michizane. Stop me if I screw it up. Kokoro da ni makoto no michi ni kanai nabara. Inorazu totemo kamiya mamoran. When your spirit is in accord with the way of truthfulness, even without prayers, will the gods protect you. In the past, it was a quote by British politician Benjamin Disraeli. We make our own future and call it destiny.
Yeah,
I
make our
love
own
Proverbs.
fortune.
We make our own fortune and call it destiny. Thank you. So I actually have not. I hope I didn't butcher that too much.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But yeah. So me, I'm always prayed up, but I understand what the previous phrases is sort of. I kind of understand what it means when your spirit's right in the right place, then God will protect you, which is a nice that's a nice thought.
Well, it goes to show when people say walk in faith. That's what I think about when I hear that.
That's true, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite? What's your motto right now, Rocket?
What's my motto right now?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would just be keep moving forward.
So good old classic Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah, basically, there we go. Meet the Robinsons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that movie. But yeah, keep moving forward. That would probably be my motto. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jukebox. Now, question 15.
Could you explain to us in layman's terms how you make your albums sound so good?
My albums don't actually sound that good. There's still so much for me to learn. I do think this latest album sounds quite good, though. But then good sounding differs from person to person. And it also depends on one's listening equipment. Frankly, I can't explain it to you in layman's terms.
Very, very very self-effacing fellow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna get that. This is the beginning of the end, folks. It's all downhill from here. Oh man, it's like, why are you so good? Actually, I suck. Basically what he said.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You have the two people, right? You have the humble guy who will never admit that they're good, and then you have the pompous guy who will always always admit he is good and boast all the time, and there's no in between.
Yeah, I mean, I do like, it's very refreshing, but it's like, obviously we disagree, but like, oh my gosh. It's so I don't know. Like, I could see him saying it to us. Actually, they kind of suck. I don't know why you guys like this stuff.
Well, it goes to show. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, it goes to show. You were just saying keep moving forward.
True.
When you ever have some imposter syndrome, you never know how other people actually view your work.
That's true.
So, I mean, Tatsuro Yamashita doesn't even view his work in such a way, based on this question. So, he kept moving forward, however. So,
That's true.
that's just how reality is.
So now we're at question number. So this one's question number 30.
Hey, what's a fun song to play live?
I've never once had fun performing one of my songs.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry.
It's like
I'm there.
I'm taking requests. Like,
I'm there to give something for the audience to listen to. It wouldn't be right for me to be having fun. Besides, since I'm the band leader, I'm always busy paying attention to the guys behind me. Like, are they keeping with the program? Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I come to realize myself what I produce. I don't know. You tell me, Jen. When you're producing music, do you have any fun as like, oh, I'm enjoying it, or are you times there times where you're like, oh my goodness, this is hell?
Yeah, well, yeah, when you're performing, especially with like the amount of people on stage in some of his concerts and
yeah,
stuff,
that's
it's
true.
like you're watching, listening for everybody. If it sounds good, if they're all, are they keeping with the program?
Yeah.
So yeah, it interesting that he says he's like retrospectively that he doesn't have fun doing that. Usually I feel like once it's over, it's like it's then fun, but when you're doing it, it's definitely a little bit stressful. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I understand that.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you say to that?
It's just real, man.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just real.
Well, I mean, just imagine during the concert, Tatsuro's just finished the song, and he's saying, "Okay, what's next in the playlist?" Oh, it's right on time. Oh God, no! Kill me,
Yeah.
kill me now.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. This is interesting, right? When I was in high school, I was producing music for people, and I was producing music with people. And the people, one of the artists, he mentioned how he was like, we were having copyright issues, basically. Long story short, he was like, dude, just let them have the song. I can just make new songs. And then another time, he's like, please don't let me perform this song again. It's so boring. Like it's just like he's performed the song to promote it already. And then, we all love this song, but he's just like, dude, I have to perform the song again. Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, especially if it's an older song, I can imagine Right on Time. Like, how many years ago is that? His people still want to perform it, right?
Right, yeah. Don't even ask him to play Christmas Eve. He'll suck.
Oh.
I was gonna mention Christmas Eve, yeah. I don't know if there's a recording of him performing Christmas Eve, because he probably doesn't play it very often.
Probably
If
not. I've
ever.
never heard him play it live, which
Yeah.
good for him. Every time I talk to a Japanese person, I say tatsuroyamashita, and like clockwork. Oh, the Christmas guy.
It's Santa Claus. Oh, that's good.
It's unfortunate.
So Tatsuroyamashita is the Mariah Carey.
It is the Mariah Carey of Asia. Yes.
Oh.
I hope. I mean, I'd rather Tatsuroyamashita than Mariah Carey.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
That song is less annoying and obnoxious and loud.
Yeah. Also, people are not bots when that song comes on.
True.
And the greatest irony about that is that he made Christmas Eve as a take you to all those people who are slamming him as just being a summer guy.
Yeah, how ironic.
Yeah, and now it's like he's basically just made the most famous Japanese Christmas song in history. And it's like, now he's stuck with it. It's like if he's at a concert, he may be asked to play it or something like that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, speaking of which, I think that actually goes in. Let me see if it's this. Yeah, that actually ties into. I'm gonna skip ahead to question 41 because that's actually a good segue.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what is the difference between a song that goes on to be loved by all people for decades and a song that is forgotten about in a matter of months?
I am convinced that it's all luck. There are countless of great songs that have been buried in the sands of history. Which songs become evergreen standards and which ones don't? It's all arbitrary. A song like Christmas Eve, that would have been thought as just another song on melodies, were it not for JR Tokai using it in their commercials. There's nothing more to it than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I absolutely agree.
Good point.
Agreed.
Like,
Yeah.
there's so many good songs that are like, this is a certified hood classic. But then, like, you're the only person who knows this song.
Well, it's also interesting. He mentioned this song in the commercial. If it weren't for that, I mean, a song that's a one-hit wonder. I suppose in my generation, right, as a 2001 boy, when I hear one-hit wonder, I immediately think about Smash Mouth All Star.
Oh yeah, hey, yeah.
Right.
Nobody would know
Right.
that song if it wasn't for Shrek.
But if it wasn't for Shrek, and I when I hear that song, I'm like, all right, cool, I'm done with Smash Mouth forever. I don't care to listen to any other music.
Because you don't, when you hear the song, you don't think about Smash Bros. You think about Shrek.
Think about Shrek All Star,
Yeah.
awesome movie.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
it's a lot of things. Same thing with the Rick Roll song. Never gonna give.
Oh
You Up.
yeah.
If it
I
wasn't,
don't even
for
know
the
why
memes,
people like that.
Well, it's not
Although-
about. It's about the memes. The fact that it was used in a meme to troll somebody. Like, haha, you thought it was this one thing, but it's this cheesy 80s song, and then it just caught on. If it wasn't for memes, nobody would care about Rick Astley. And I'm not saying he's a bad singer, but nobody would care about Rick Astley if it wasn't for that song or for that meme.
Although that album that Never Gonna Give You Up is pretty good. I like.
I'm sure it is. That is my point.
I didn't know it was an album.
Exactly. That's my point. Nobody gives a shit about the album because they just care about Rick Roll.
Well, okay, so hear this now. That shows me, especially like, if you're a producer of something creative or of anything really, it all depends on the consumer, as far
Yes.
as
Absolutely.
the
You're right.
enjoyment of it and anything else. You know, it's like if you're not making it for the consumer, I guess it's not worthy of consumption, right?
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot imagine like Tatsuro or any other singer writing a song and thinking, "Yes, this will be legendary 30 years from now." It's like,
That's how I write
Like-
my music.
yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, but it's like I'm sure Maria Takeuchi and her husband, were not aware that when they made Plastic Love, it was going to be like, oh wow, 40 years later, it's like a worldwide
Yeah.
hit. Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah, it is what it is.
A whole genre of music made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go figure on that one.
Alright, so we're at. So I skipped one. I just wanted to bring because it tied in so well. But
Yeah. I think I think question 38. I think it is.
that's right. Thank you.
Yeah. What would you be doing had you not become a musician?
I wanted to become an astronomer. I just wanted to spend all my days watching the stars. But that was no longer an option once I dropped out of high school. I might have also been a music publisher or a record producer. Otherwise, I would have just become homeless. At this point, it's hard to answer the question though. I don't know.
I can see Tatsuro as an astronomer. He just needs the white lab coat and he's
That's true,
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I love space so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Took me a few seconds there.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Maybe he likes to kiss this. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Hey, I like to kiss the. Oh, that's a lyric.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right, question number 39.
If you were to form a band right now, what would you name it?
I have no interest in being in a band. When Sugar Break broke up, I swore to myself that I'd never form another band in my life. I've been going at it solo ever since there, for 35 years. I've never even named any of my live bands. That reflects my feelings about the whole thing. Although even today, I do feel like I'd like to give a shot at having my own a cappella group.
That's neat. Give me the history on Sugar Babe. Is there a reason why he feels contempt.
Because Sugar Babe Sugar Babe was a band with Taiko Oniki, Tatsuro Yamashita, and Kunio Muramatsu. They were the core of the band.
Okay.
And Giji Ito. And it was produced by Eiichi Otaki. To make a long story short, nobody liked them. They got trash thrown at them, and nobody liked them. And so they only made one album, and it did they did backing for various other artists, and they had one final concert in March 30th of 1976, and then they broke up.
Gotcha. Got it. It was just a big failure.
Yes, it was just a big failure. And it's unfortunate because it's like nowadays Sugar Babe is considered a classic. Everybody and their mother knows Downtown.
Mm-hmm.
But that was thanks to the likes of Eppo, who had covered it first and made the song popular again.
I wonder what Tatsuro Yamashita felt when he's hearing people talk about his old Sugar Babe Downtown song.
It's probably cringing.
Yeah, right. People covering it. It's like, what?
I know. That Kanaki, you showed me an interview with Taiko Oniki. Like, she did not like talking about Sugar Babe.
No, she had a really terse expression on her face when she was talking about that.
Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh no.
Okay, wrong question. It's more like maybe should have been called Sour Babe instead.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I could see Cats in an acapella group though.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's always got that certain that kind of like the falsetto voice will show when
the question is, who would be in the acapella group though?
What's that? Was it the Gospelers? I think there's that group.
True, yeah. I'm thinking it's got to be someone like, I don't know. Yeah, the Gospelers maybe.
What about this? What if he features on a song with Queen?
There you go.
That would be very interesting.
It would be. Because when I remember how acapella, I hear the is it the Galileo?
Come on, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
Bohemian
there
Rhapsody,
you go.
yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody. I imagine that.
Yeah.
Either that or a barbershop quartet, which I don't know any barbershop.
Question number 41.
Okay, question number 41 is. Question number 40. I think.
Number 40. Thank you.
Yeah. Words of advice to young people whose ambition in life is doing music.
If you're going to go pro, please have a firm understanding of contracts. When you avoid talking about the money stuff, that is 100% going to come and bite you in the ass later down the line. And on the music side of things, it really comes down to how far you're willing to go to accomplish what it is you want to do. Yeah, I agree. This is 100% correct.
Yeah.
My personal projects, failure came down to not knowing how to manage my money and trust my money with the wrong people. So, yeah, he's absolutely correct.
Well, here's something. This is what I realized right now in my life. Right now, music is a hobby and not a career. It's when I was at a music class, and the instructor was like, "When people tell you have a backup plan to music, and then you actually have a backup plan, then music is not the thing you want to do, because people who do music, that's the thing. It's the only thing, and they do it. And they either get it done or they fail. But when they fail, that's their sign not to do it. But when they get it done, well, there you go. But they didn't have a backup plan. They did it. And that was the only thing they could do. And so when he told me that, I was like, got it. It's not for me.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. When people do like, I see my artist friends. You know, they're doing live tours right out of high school. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yeah, I get on them too, because they have what it takes.
Right. So here is, I believe this is the last question we're going to cover. Is number 67.
67, which I do not have on my list, unfortunately, but I can
that's
find
my
it.
bad. So it's
Okay.
Previously, you said how in your youth you've disliked singing songs about real people, quote unquote. Why is that? That's
Okay. Shall I read the answer here?
if you want to.
Okay. You know, it's interesting. So, well, first of all, because I dislike people to begin with, I formed my band. Okay.
Sorry.
I formed my band back in the 70s during the whole Yojohan folk boom, and Yojohan means 4.5 tatami mat.
Right.
Okay, the whole Yojohan folk boom, and I just hated those kinds of songs about trivial human relationships. My music is much more Western-oriented. They are English language melodies. So it's then, of course, important for me to choose carefully the words I use in my lyrics. But if you put too much meaning into the words, you run the risk of the sound losing its color. So rather than people, I prefer singing about the seasons and about nature. Broadly speaking, the main theme of my lyrics is the loneliness and isolation of city life. But even in the city, it still rains. The wind still blows. That's something I found interesting. But now at 58 years of age, at that time, one starts to experience life and death more, whether they like it or not. When that happens, you start paying more attention to things like people's feelings, life, and what it is to live. So apparently, he dislikes people.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I hate you all.
I hate you all.
Please drink and drive. Yeah.
Well, there is your inspiration of becoming a musician and doing live shows. Oh, listen, I hate the people, but I love trees, and you know, the dollar it's closest to it.
Yep.
Yeah. What are you saying?
Well, I mean, look, I mean, he basically threw the entire 70s folk singers under the bus right there.
Exactly.
I mean, that was a huge thing back in the early 70s. I said no.
But I mean, okay. So for context, I feel like going back and listening to not just Japanese but just folk music in general, like Bob Dylan, Crosby, Still and Nash, Neil Young, Simon and Garfunkel. You know, it's all, I don't know, some of it's very some of it's very artsy, and you know, it's like, you know, it's whatever. It's not all of it's. And then you get the other half where it's like, you know, especially for Bob Dylan's case, the guy can't fucking sing. You know, but you know, he's a great songwriter. I mean, think about it. All the most famous Bob Dylan songs are famous because they were covered by other people. The Watchtower is Bob Dylan's song, but you don't know that because Jimi Hendrix did it better. So, but yeah, I mean, I kind of understand what he's saying in a sense of the folk boom, whereas because Japanese folk music was really depressing. I don't know, just point that out there. Very depressing. Even without knowing the lyrics, just the tone of the music, which it's very somber and sad and depressing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there was that as he mentioned, there was something called Yojohan folk, and as I said, you know, the translation of Yojohan is literally 4.5 tatami mats, meaning the size of a room that a lot of people who did not have a lot of money had to live in, basically. So it's basically the size of a small bedroom that you actually had to live out of. And there was the folk music was all based on that sort of atmosphere. Like, we're kind of like, oh, we're not rich at all, we're suffering type of thing, but as long as we have each other, that type of And I mean, those folk songs were like becoming were very popular with Tatsuro Yoshida and like the band Kaguya Hime, for example.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah. So Kanda Gawa was one of the big hits of the early 1970s, and that it's part of the Yojohan folk thing.
Right.
But I think with Tatsuro, it's like, nah, it's not for me. So he kind of went for the more, as he said, more Western oriented, the new music, as I think Yumi Matsutoya kind of coined it or so.
Right, and he was better off for it.
Yeah, I gather. Yeah. But I mean, the rest of the interview, I mean, he's very polite about it, but he does mention there are a few things in music that he's not crazy about, and one of them is he's not particularly a Vocaloid fan, let's say.
No, he's not.
Oh.
Why would he? Why I can't imagine him being a fan of Vocaloid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think anyone who spent literally 35 plus years on their craft, and when they hear about anything in regards to using technology to mimic, I'm pretty sure they're going to be salty. Not salty.
Yeah.
That's not a good way to say it. They're going to be bitter about it.
Yeah, that's true. He's also not a fan of the alphabet bands.
The alphabet
AKB 48.
AK-48 and stuff. Yeah, but he also said in the same breath that those kids probably don't like me very much either. So.
Well, I mean, sure, yeah. So the feeling's mutual.
Yeah, I gather.
So it is what it is.
Divisions.
Generation gap.
Well, not only just that, the music is coming from a fundamentally different place and philosophy. Because Taz has worked with younger artists before, but like
Kinky Kids is one example right there.
Kinky Kids. He had a rapper guest star on one of his things, on one of his songs. You know what I'm talking about, Connect?
It's on Rarities?
Yeah, Rarities.
Yeah.
So it's like he's not a stranger to collaborate with younger artists. I think, like I said, the whole philosophy of the Alphabet Band is very different than his very traditional singer-songwriter style of music.
Well, it's probably the difference between the artist and the artisan, like we were talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Absolutely. So I mean, that makes sense, and once again, more power to him.
For sure.
But thank you guys for coming. I hope you enjoyed taking a deep dive into the conscience of Tatsuro Yamashita. Next week, we'll be covering the 2016 interview, and we'll pick out some interesting questions from there. But until next time, this has been Come Along Radio. I'm Rocket Brown,
and this has been James Canuck from Kayokyo Plus.
The Afrocentric Jukebox.
This is Doobie Cam from YouTube.
and we'll see you around.
Music, that's our music.